Good evening and welcome. A special welcome to the friends and family of our residents who are attending the ceremony virtually through the live stream. We wish you could have been here to celebrate this day in person with us, but we are glad that you're able to attend. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Manish Suneja and I serve as the Program Director for Internal Medicine. We are gathered here tonight to honor the accomplishments of categorical and combined MedSci graduates, our chief residents, and our preliminary interns whose training with us is nearing an end. At this time, Dr. Isabella Grumbach, who serves as the interim chair and the DEO of the Department of Internal Medicine, and I want to recognize the key members of the education team, as without them this day wouldn't be possible. So when I call your name, please stand up. Please give them a round of applause. So Katie Harris, Justin Smart, Krista Johnson, Brian Gilbach, Andy Bryan, David Stoltz, Cindy Baskill, Abby Gilpin, Jane Roy, Vicky Kajuski, Angela Weber, Carmen King, Scott Ogum-Sang, Mark Wilson, Justin Barber, Yana Nantova, Sydney O'Master, and Derek Huff. I've always looked forward to this day as I get to meet the friends and family of our residents, and I get to thank them personally for sharing their loved one with us. I'm grateful that this year we could have some of the family members and friends be here in person to celebrate with us. I'm also thankful that a lot of friends and family members of our graduates are attending this graduation virtually. If you're a friend or family member of a resident, please stand as we applaud you. You raised our residents, you've nourished them, you encouraged them, and you waited patiently for them to come home. In uncertain times, you were there with a hug, a phone call, and a warm meal. You have supported them through all of this journey, and today you share their joy, excitement, and pride. On this wonderful occasion, we thank you. Thank you for sharing your daughters and sons with us, your wives and husbands, your sisters and brothers, your moms and dads, and your significant others. Let's give our friends and family another round of applause. And now congratulations to all the graduating residents. Each of you has worked tirelessly to reach this day. A day that celebrates the completion of your residency, a day when your heart is filled with gratefulness and appreciation for your family, your faculty members, your staff, and your colleagues. You've built mountains of medical knowledge, you've honed sharp clinical acumen and skills, and you've become professionals. You're self-reliant, you're confident, you're committed, you're honest, and compassionate. We did set very high expectations for each one of you, and you've soared to meet those expectations. And we are all very proud of you. I do want to start by acknowledging that your class spent the majority of your residency in the midst of a pandemic. Your time has been marked by stretches of time on the front lines in the hospital where you faced incredible stress, fear, and exhaustion. This was probably intermixed with periods of guilt and helplessness, worrying about colleagues, loved ones, and your own lost opportunities to learn what you needed to learn before becoming independent practitioners. In reflecting on this time, I'm struck by this all-consuming sense of loss. Loss of patients, loss of loved ones, loss of security in our safety, and of the plans for the future we had so carefully envisioned. Allow for the space to grieve the loss and then make space for the hope and promise of the future. I encourage all of you to draw on your strength, alone and together, to latch onto whatever piece of this world that inspires you the most to change and transform. As a practicing physician, every one of you will carry enormous power. You are graduating into a world desperate for your voice and your expertise. The enormity of this responsibility can feel almost paralyzing at times, but this is absolutely something every one of you has the talent and the skill to do. When you started your residency, you probably did not realize that the next several years would be more difficult than you could have possibly imagined. Getting through your day as an intern required completing a monstrous amount of paperwork. You found yourself looking over your shoulders, wondering who would co-sign your orders, fumbling through your first central lines and paracentesis, and of course required course correction by seemingly all-knowing senior residents and faculty members. On some of the busiest days, you probably chose between eating and using the restroom. The ring and buzz of your pager would induce palpitations. It still induces palpitations for me, I can tell you that. And these feelings ultimately will fade to the background, but they will never completely go away. The next several years, as you leave your residency, will be more special and gratifying than you can possibly imagine. You might not recall all the names of the faces you will be treating, but you will remember all your patients' stories. You will diagnose zebras, you will help patients and their families. You will help people navigate some of their most difficult moments, offering hope and comfort. Patients will introduce you to their loved ones as their physician, and the feeling of honor and privilege will never diminish. You may even ask yourself sometimes why you didn't choose a simpler path. But those moments of doubt inevitably pass. They pass when you make a medical discovery. They pass when your students and residents understand a complicated concept because you explained it so clearly. And most importantly, they pass when your patient looks right into your eyes, relieved and grateful for the care you've provided. These sublime moments will come to you again and again. They will fill you with gratitude. They will bring you joy, and they will erase any doubt whatsoever that you've chosen the right path. Contributions of your class to the program over the last 3 years has ensured that our program maintains an upward trajectory. Your accomplishments have been impressive. You're the best and the brightest. But smarts is not what makes you special. Rather, it is the way that you treat your patients, your support staff, your peers, and your colleagues, all with kindness and compassion. I think all of us here, especially in this educational group which is gathered here, would agree when I say that philosophy of this program has always been that we don't want to train you to be as good as ourselves, but we want to train you to be better than we are, and your class epitomizes this philosophy. Over the years that I've been involved in resident education, I've come to find this time of a year a bit melancholy. As I glance at the pamphlet with the photos of the incoming interns, incoming chief residents, I feel unsettled. Although the outside world is warm and sunny and green, and there's glorious light of the day for majority of the 24 hours, I feel like I'm being left behind. I feel like I'm losing a group of young adults who have become some of my favorite people over the past few years. I feel like things are starting over. And again, new beginnings are not inherently bad. We all know this in our heads, though it is more difficult to feel in our hearts. When I was in your shoes, I marveled at the equal but opposite forces of dread and elation that played tug of war in the pit of my stomach as the end date of my residency loomed ever closer. Now, as this date and time looms closer again, I feel pride and gratitude and sadness. I'm so proud of all you've learned and done and taught and grown. I'm so grateful for the chats and laughter and the many things you've taught me. I'm grateful that you've shared your youth and enthusiasm and skepticism and all your struggles with me. I'm grateful that a few of you will still be nearby and that I will keep in touch with many of you in one way or another. As you graduate from this program, remember the old maxim of learn, earn, and return. Think of its charming and beautiful environment, the friends you've made. Think of the wonderful people you have encountered, the experience and the knowledge you've gained. Think of its cultural and intellectual attractions. And remember that all of these are a part of you now. Come back and visit to firm your connection to your colleagues, your mentors, and to your program. Like the old saying goes, every good thing has an end. But we know life is like a stage. We play our part and exit the stage, but our paths eventually cross again. Before I end, a few little words of advice, but more importantly, my wishes for all of you. May you always have white clouds. May you act to preserve the finest tradition of our calling in a time of unrest, fear, and anxiety. May you long experience the joy of healing those who seek your help. May you not only be lifelong learners of medicine, but also be lifelong teachers of medicine. May you find what brings you joy and be able to construct your life and career to have more of that. May you remember that you're human and learn from your mistakes rather than let them paralyze or crush you. May you stay humble and ever hungry for new knowledge. May you love the next steps of your journey, but realize that nothing is set in stone if you don't. May you be able to prioritize your own lives outside of work, outside of your families, and get as close as possible to that perfect and elusive work-life balance. May you remember why you endured all that you have so far and never forget the impact that you have and will have on so many lives. May you know that you can contact me at any time for any reason, and I hope you do. But all of that is about tomorrow. Today is about you, your joy, your pride, your achievements, and your well-deserved celebration. I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you. I will miss you. And I offer you all my best wishes for your success and happiness. Congratulations.